rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to the Patriot Angle Podcast, a show about America's truth, unhinged, unfiltered, raw. Your host, Mike Gardner.
Hey folks, welcome to today's show. We're talking about this new saga of the Coca-Cola story. Anybody hear that? The Coca-Cola story? They're wanting workers to be less white. Yeah. Yeah, they have a whole training program about it. Oh God, you gotta read this crap. This is just stupid idioticness coming from the radical left, and I think it's literally like they're literally influencing this onto companies such as Coca-Cola and others such as Under Armour and a few others. I forgot the names of them, but mainly the big ones that they were talking about were mainly Coca-Cola and Under Armour. That they want to basically urge the majority of their white employees to be a little less white. What the hell do they mean about that? Be less white. Like, what do you want them to be? Like, folks, this is the hatred, the ridiculousness of what we're living through in this country. And folks, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse until we step down and understand, like, this needs to stop. This racism needs to stop. I mean, maybe we should be less sensitive instead of, having somebody be less white. What kind of nonsense is that? That's like, telling a black person, they should be less black, or an Asian person to be less Asian. Folks, that is racist when you tell somebody that they have to be less white. How racist is that? This is the culture of a society we live in today. This is what we live in. We live in this society. People actually want white people to stop saying that they're not racist. I mean, this is a target now on white Caucasian people, that they are the most racist people in the world. Folks, this is nutty. This is beyond nutty. This is psychotic. I don't know. I have to scratch my head every day to make sure that we still live in a country called America. I mean, because this is just crazy. This is diversity at an all-time craziness, so to speak, if you want to kind of break it down in layman's terms, right? I want to play this soundbite here. This is actually a Coca-Cola employee that's trying to basically go along with this new policy of the company just to keep his job. Oh, you got to listen to this. This is an actual Coca-Cola employee, like I said, that's trying to be less white, so to speak, like they're urging their employees to be, just to keep his job.
Hey, homies and hyenas, how you all doing? So I work for Coca-Cola, and this hyena come in and she put on this seminar. Her name is Angela D'Angelo, and she told all the white people to act less white, you know, and they act less white. So I'm just trying to experiment, you know. Cause I want to keep my job, you know. I don't want to get fired for being too white. That's a horrible thing, you know. I understand that. You know, being white is it's a curse now, you know what I'm saying? So I want to keep my job. As they say. Anyway, I'm trying this shit out. I know that a lot of you think that this shit racist, you know. A lot of you, let's just call you lefties. You might think this shit racist and all, but you know, I'm all confused because I don't even know what be less white mean. I don't even know what it means, they say. Anyway, hasta mañana. Hasta luego. Peace, Holmes.
All right, guys. If anybody didn't catch the point of this video, that was an actual white guy acting as an Hispanic, okay? Because you know he basically made this video and basically he's acted as an Hispanic because they're telling him to be less white. I mean, what do you want him to be? He's a white person. You can't tell him to be a black person because he's not a black person. You know, you be who you are. That's his his ethnicity is a white person. He can't be Hispanic. He can't be black.
Coca-Cola's done lost their dadgum minds. Yeah, the white guilt's hitting pretty hard this time. I thought I'd seen it all, but as it turns out, I have to change my skin to live this one down. We gotta be less white, be less white. This liberals gone wild and they lost their minds. We gotta be less white, be less white. Now I'm switching to Pepsi and it's all alright.
Hey folks, welcome back to the show. We're talking about some crazy nonsense now on the on the news now. Now Coca-Cola and other companies such as, you know, Under Armour and others are joining the movement of be less white. Oh boy, what kind of crap is this? I mean, you know, like I mentioned before, it's like telling a black person be less black. Can you imagine if companies like Coca-Cola and, you know, big giant companies such as them, you know, had a diversity program saying to black people, you have to be less black? I mean, how racist is that? You know, I mean, guys, I'm from I'm from New Jersey originally. Okay, I live in the state of Georgia, but as much as racism I see down here in the South, you see it all over the place now. Nowadays you do. I mean, even in the South here, I mean, people scratch their heads like, what the fuck is going on? I mean, be less white. I mean, what do you want us to be? You want us to be yellow? You want us to be beige? You want us to be Asian? I mean, what do you want us to be? I don't know, folks. It's just it baffles me to understand the stupidity. I think what we need to do is be less stupid, right? I mean, this is like, it's getting ridiculous. It really is. It's getting stupid. Be less white. I mean, oh boy. I guess people are going to have to start drinking Pepsi now, or drinking another, buying another soda product than Coca-Cola, because if they're going to be doing this crap, this is stupid. I mentioned Under Armour now forced white employees to undergo. Oh yeah, yeah. I was going to go there, folks, with the Under Armour. I just mentioned it. Another company joining the Be Less White movement. Now Under Armour, folks, forced white employees to undergo anti-racist re-education program. Yeah, they want to re-educate us, folks. They want to make us understand that racism is not shouldn't have any part here in America, folks. Whether you want to try to erase it or not, it's going to be around us. It's always going to be around us. You just have to learn to walk the other direction, so to speak. So now Under Armour appears to be the next big corporation found to be forcing employees to undergo an anti-white training session. According to Outkick, a whistleblower is reporting that a sportswear giant has mandated that employees, this is the sportswear Under Armour, a whistleblower. A whistleblower is somebody that obviously works for an organization or a company. This person probably works for I'm guessing Under Armour, is now coming out saying that the sportswear giant such as Under Armour is mandating that all employees take a so-called anti-racism course entitled Above the Surface: Dominant White Progressive Narratives, that urges white employees to examine how they might be racist. What? Folks, like I said, you cannot make this crap up. These are companies, literally American companies, that are like literally forcing all of its white employees to participate in training programs that ask them to consider ways in which they might be racist. Like, how can you force an employee, to understand that they might be racist? What? That's I mean, just saying that out loud. I mean, that employer is being racist to their white employees for having them understand if they're racist or not. Come on. This is just nonsense. Stupid nonsense. Crap. In another part of the training, whites are told that saying "I was taught to treat everyone the same" is also racist. Hold on, back up. Let me read that again. Basically, they're saying that in this other form of the training course, white employees are told that saying "I was taught to treat everyone the same" is also racist. So, you know the questions that they ask you when you're going to fill out a job application? And one of the questions, they ask you is, I was taught to treat everyone the same, right? No matter what color, creed, or, ethnicity you come from. You treat everyone the same. But now, the society we live in, that's considered racist. Like, how is that considered racist? I don't understand that one. The training has also attacked the white employees' parents. If their parents move to a particular place to get their kids into good schools, that's considered racist. Like, racism is literally taking over this country, folks. It really is. I mean, we've seen that with Black Lives Matter last year. We've seen that with Antifa, with the riots. But that was okay by the Democratic machine. Oh, yeah, that was okay. That was okay. Yeah, they swept that one under the rug. Crap. That's what it is. So, these two companies now are joining in the movement. Under Armour and Coca-Cola is supposedly pushing this anti-racism training on their employees that essentially tells them that all whites are racist. Yeah, every white person in America is considered a racist. Yeah. Yeah, there's something wrong with that. But there's nothing wrong with Joe Biden picking transgender nominees, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Oh yeah, no one sees anything wrong with that. Come on, give me a freaking break. Really, give me a break. Give me a break. But just the racism in this country is just terrible. It's terrible. The way they, and then it goes on. It goes on further, folks. It goes on. Now, the next agenda that they're pushing right now in government is religion and LGBTQ Equality Act. Oh yeah, that's the Democrats. Yeah. If you think the Coca-Cola thing scenario is nuts, you got to see this thing. Democrats now on religion and LGBTQ Equality Act. Oh, yeah. Just this past Thursday, Representative Jim Gordon, a Republican out of Ohio, noted Thursday on the floor in the U.S. House of Representatives that the Equality Act, which would prohibit discrimination on base of sexuality and gender identity, which also allows, would specifically disallow religion expectations. Where's my words at today? I need a glass of water. I gotta read this. I gotta listen to this. We got soundbite number 4, please.
They argue the long-standing protections we already provide in the civil rights laws for religious practice, for some reason, aren't good enough. Here, they demand more capacity to hate on gay people than they would ever claim as a religious right to discriminate on the basis of race. Would any opponent of this bill argue that their religion gives them the right to deny an African-American couple service at a restaurant? That's exactly the argument made on this floor 60 years ago when others, making so-called faith-based arguments, sought to defeat the civil rights laws in the first place. The true argument is that their beliefs demand existing discrimination against LGBT people be allowed. That's their true argument. That is pro-discrimination. Our argument is that discrimination is wrong and that it should be not permitted, and that the exercise of religion here can be protected just as we do in every other civil rights context. No more, no less. It's no wonder, but it's sad, that they deny the truth of their position here. These same members spread the incendiary lie that the election was stolen, play footsie with dangerous conspiracy groups who attacked this building. They tell us mask wearing infringes on their rights.
Gentlemen's time is expired.
Turn this off. Turn this garbage. Who is this guy?
Emergency.
Who is this guy?
Deny school shootings are real, or that
The gentleman's time is expired.
Let history record the vote today. One side.
The gentleman's
votes
time
for
is
love.
expired.
One second, Andy.
The gentleman from New York reserves. The gentleman from Ohio is recognized.
I'll read from the bill, Madam Chair. Page 25 of their legislation. The previous speaker, Madam Chair, is just flat out wrong. Here's what it says. The Religious Freedom Restoration Act shall not provide a claim or a defense to a claim under the legislation, or provide a basis for challenging the application of this bill. They put it in the bill. You can't use the standards set forth in RFRA that was passed and that Mr. Nadler's, you can't even use that as a defense. It's spelled out in the legislation. As my colleague from Louisiana said, the very first right mentioned in the very first amendment to the Constitution, in the very first amendment of the Bill of Rights, is your right to practice your faith the way you see fit. And they put in their legislation, no, you can't. No, you can't. That's what's in the bill. That's why they didn't want a hearing, as previous speakers said, because they didn't want us to be able to talk about this in a hearing where you have testimony, witnesses. They didn't want that. They come to the floor, and as my colleague from Texas said, give this a fancy name, while they're taking away American citizens' most fundamental liberty, the liberty the founders chose to mention the very first right in the Bill of Rights. That's why we oppose this legislation.
Of course, you got the damn Democrats and the Republicans bickering like little school children, and on the side of the schoolyard, and they're talking about equality. Oh, we've seen racism in there. Yeah, that's folks. This is sick. This is what the country's going through. It's going through literally a meltdown. I mean, we are seeing our country melt down right in front of our eyes. And if you think that's worse, if you think the Coca-Cola story is worse, if you think the LGBTQ Equality Act is worse, folks, I mean, we are seeing our country melt down. We are seeing it melt down. It's terrible, folks. It really is. It's terrible. It really is. Hey folks, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. We're talking about a lot of different scenarios today. For those who's just joining in on the show, opened up the show with the Coca-Cola story, the Under Armour story about they want their employees. Yeah, they want them to be less white. Yeah. Racism continues in this country, folks. Sadly, it's just continuing. It really is. It's everywhere. I mean, they brought it with this whole LGBTQ scenario that got played out earlier today on the Senate floor. The Republicans and Democrats, I heard the sound clip I plugged into the show, just spewing out nonsense. Like it's just never ending, folks. It never ends. It never ends. Racism, I mean, these people are talking about like it's going to end. Like they want to erase it. They want to do a lot of different things, folks. They want to cancel culture. They want to label white people as the most racist people in the world, which is crazy. Because God forbid, like I said, if you labeled a black person, oh no, they would have a shit fit. I mean, literally. I mean, this country, folks, is just it's melting down right before us, and we cannot stand for this anymore. Certainly, I'm not going to stand for it. I don't know about you guys, my listeners out there, but this is just getting crazier and crazier. On to other news here that shows related to what I'm talking about. A poll now shows Republicans care about issues. Democrats, they just hate Republicans. Everything a Republican says, a Democrat is just against it. The poll shows that Republican priorities surround the big issues of the day, while Democrat concerns are focused almost solely on hating Republicans. I mean, it's literally like a war between the both of them. Starting with the most concerned, the top issues of concern for Republican voters are illegal immigration, lack of support for police, high taxes, left-wing media bias, which we see every day, the moral decline of the country, socialism, Antifa, China, late-term abortion, election fraud, tech censorship, and discrimination against Christians. That's the main issues right now in the concerns that Republicans are concerned about. Now, to put this perspective, 81% of Republicans are extremely, very concerned with illegal immigration. The bottom issue on this poll, Christian discrimination, still has 57%, folks. 57% extremely very concerned. Starting with the most concerned, the top issues of concern for Democrat voters are, no joke, listen to this, folks, Trump supporters, white nationalism, racism, gun violence, healthcare coverage, domestic terror, police brutality, discrimination against the alphabet people. The what? The alphabet people? I gotta read into that. I don't know what the hell they're talking about right there. Sexism, voter suppression, student debt, and capitalism. They're against capitalism. If they're against capitalism, that means they're against people, trying to make something big for their name. They don't want you doing that. Now, when the government, especially the Democratic government, when the Democrats see you making a name for yourself and making, something big and great for yourself, they hate that. They hate that. A full 82% of Democrats are extremely very concerned with Trump supporters. They cannot get over this Trump thing. Like, they suffer from that. I've said it time after time after time. Trump derangement syndrome. You see it all over the place. I see it. I see it all over the place. I see it when I go out and about, food shopping, on the train here in Atlanta. I see it all over the place. It's like they cannot get over the whole Trump thing. Guys, you got what you want. You got Basement Joe in the office. Move on. So the thing freaking out the left more than anything else, folks, is that fact that you and I exist. The fact that we are Trump supporters, share this country with them. I mean, seriously, that's what's freaking the left out more than anything, is the fact that you and I exist and the fact that we are Trump supporters and we share this country with them. That's what freaks them out. It freaks them out that we still support a former president that's no longer in office, and they still can't get over that. Still. Numbers like this, folks, perfectly explain why Republicans are being blacklisted and canceled. Yeah. If you don't agree with their agenda, you're either blacklisted and you're considered a racist. That's where this country's going, folks. That's where it's going. Sadly, that's where it's going. The full-blown assault. And I'm going to close it out here soon here. And this is where I'm going to close it out here with. The full-blown assault on our liberties and freedoms, folks, are at the hands of a Democrat-run government and hostile mega corporations. And folks, it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse if we do not put the stop to it. Moreover, seriously, we have to stop this. The threat against our personal safety at the hands of this left-wing terrorist group like Antifa and Black Lives Matter is only going to increase, folks. It's only going to increase. When you're convinced yourself that the other side is Hitler and you can do what Democrats, the media, academia, Hollywood, and big tech have done, convince yourself it's okay to be Hitler, to fight Hitler. Do you understand what I'm trying to say to you? We are fighting Hitler. The left has become Hitler. Literally. That's the society we live in, folks. We are hated for who we are, period. The same Democrats who created Jim Crow to express their hate and to hold on to power are desperate. They're desperate, folks. Blacklists and riots are only the beginning. We're going to see more voter fraud in the near elections. Seriously, folks, these people fucking hate us. They hate us with a passion. And when people who hate you, you rule over you. You understand what I just said? When people who freaking hate you rule over you, where are you going to go from there? Where are you going to go from there when you have left-wing psychopaths that are literally running this country to the ground and blacklist everything that you do because they don't agree with your agenda is an attack on your liberties and freedom. Only you, folks, only you, the American conservative out there, can fight against this poison that we have in this country and end this crap for good. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you on the next podcast.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle podcast, an Anchor platform.